Yeah. All right. Oh my goodness.
What? That was, man.
That was intense. Man. Welcome to Good Mythical More.
I feel so close to you.
Yeah, let's, oh man, I really need to shower. But for now, we're gonna have a candid conversation about Buddy System and YouTube Red. We are super excited, as we've already said in the main episode today. I mean, releasing Buddy System to you so that you can watch it is the culmination of months of work. I mean, it feels like we've been working on it for over a year.
And we've shown you a little bit. You know, we've been able, if you followed us on social media when we were making the show over the summer, Snapchat, Instagram, whatever, you saw some of the stuff that we were doing. But, you know, when we first talked about the show, it was like, we can't actually show you anything because we're making it right now. We can't show you too much behind the scenes. So hopefully the trailer will give you a much clearer idea of what it is that we've been working on, in a sense of, this is something that you're going to enjoy because we think you're going to.
Yeah, I mean, just to give you a little more tidbitage about it. You know, we wrote the whole thing kind of like a film, and then started incorporating the fact that we were breaking it up into episodes. So there's a through line, there's a song in every episode, and that's why there's a music video that's going on this channel every Sunday, and then the episodes, like I said, come out every Wednesday.
And so just to clarify that, I know we said it already, but just to clarify, so if you don't have YouTube Red, you're going to be able to see the first episode. You're also going to be able to see the music videos that we release associated with each episode.
And we hope that you decide to get YouTube Red, and we'll get into that in a few minutes, because we want you to experience this thing that we worked so hard on. And we've had a lot of people working on it with us, an amazing team. We had a whole lot of fun. I think that translates when you watch it.
There were a lot of awkward moments. Not quite as awkward as anything that happened today.
I don't know. Yeah, well,
I mean, we did get essentially naked.
But there's blurring.
It was blurring, and we were wearing flesh-colored bikini bottoms. So they were more like boxer briefs. It was a little unsettling, but since then I've become very free in front of people. I visited several nude resorts to no consequence.
So I look forward to having a conversation with you guys as you experience Buddy System from week to week. I'm really looking forward to that. And you get a sneak peek by hearing the album now. You kind of get a little bit of where the songs are going to appear, and kind of start to piece together maybe some of the story. I don't know.
And listen, I mean, one of the reasons that we say things like, we want to talk candidly about YouTube Red. I mean, a lot of people, even in the first video that we made when we announced the show, people were like, "What? You guys are like being defensive." Well, I think we demonstrated why a slight defensive posture is necessary, because we've been watching what you guys, and I'm not speaking to all of you, but what lots of people have been saying about every time they see a new YouTube Red show. And
we've been reading the comments,
and the communication climate is incredibly negative.
It feels a little bit broken, because I think that a lot of people who are speaking the loudest have misconceptions about YouTube Red as a service, and about how it's going to work, and how it impacts YouTube, or the whys behind. What's going on.
Well, and a lot of people are like,
motives,
I can see you guys are getting paid by YouTube to talk about YouTube Red. That is not true. So to be completely honest with you, the reason that we want to have this conversation, the reason that we had that conversation the first time we talked about the show, and the reason that we're going to have another conversation now in light of some of the comments that we saw on the first video, is because this is something that we're very excited about. This is something that we want as many people as possible to see. And when we see people spout so many misconceptions, and then so many people come in and thumbs up those misconceptions as if they're true, we want to get engaged in the conversation. So that's why we're talking about it, because we care about it, not because anybody's telling us to talk about it, because this is our work, and we want to talk about our work.
Now I'm going to be playing Minesweeper over here while actually Rhett talks about it, because I actually don't care about it.
Right.
I don't care at all.
You got Minesweeper on that?
Yeah, I'll be doing that. No, we went through the comments on our last announcement video and jotted down what we feel are the main questions, the main concerns, and maybe the main misconceptions. So I'm just going to read those, and then we're going to just talk about them.
Let's do that. This is going to be fun, guys.
But we're going to arm wrestle the whole time. No?
Okay. It'll be a little distracting.
Buddy System's not available in my country. I can't watch it.
Okay, so as we speak right now, I think Buddy System's available in the U.S., New Zealand, and Australia, which we recognize is not the entire world.
Meaning YouTube Red is not available.
YouTube Red, yeah.
In all
YouTube
countries.
Red is available in those countries. But in most of the countries represented by the Mythical Beasts, we would go as far as to say as 90% of you, based on what we see in the watch statistics on YouTube, have an option to, if you don't have YouTube Red, you can go and download individual episodes. And we've got a link in the description that gives you information on which countries have and which don't. So that's one thing. People, I can't see this. The reality is that putting something on YouTube Red is actually one of the ways to get it out to the most people compared to a traditional TV network. So that was one of the things that we've been excited about from the beginning, is this is a way, unlike the first show that we made on IFC, this is a show that the vast majority of our audience has the option of seeing. Yes, it is in YouTube Red.
In other words,
you have the option to see.
Our understanding is that, like a typical American television show will have a distribution deal that is limited to the Americas, and then if other countries want to see it, they got to ink all types of different deals, and then it doesn't end up getting out there. Or it's much more delayed.
Right.
It's the beginning of the end for free YouTube, or it's the beginning of the end of Good Mythical Morning for free or in general.
I can't tell you how many times this comment was, and the thing that kind of bothers me, and listen, again, we're not speaking to everybody. What we hope will happen is that those of you who understand what we're talking about and are convinced by some of this clearing up of misconceptions will enter into the conversation in the comments. We're speaking to the people who said things like, so you guys are quitting GMM to do this. Nice. Thanks, guys. It's like, even though twice in the video, the beginning and the end, we said GMM will continue, we'll be back. We're taking a short summer break like we do every single summer. Mm-hmm. And it's YouTube Red's been around for almost a year now, and I think, as you can see, it has not affected regular YouTube, free YouTube. It is a completely different service. Good Mythical Morning is not in jeopardy. We're going to continue to make this show. We're just making an additional show that does not affect Good Mythical Morning. In fact, the show itself, Buddy System, is about Good Mythical Morning. The whole plot of the show is about how we're fighting to regain control of Good Mythical Morning, and it's all based on the fact that Good Mythical Morning exists. So it wouldn't make a lot of sense if we were going to stop doing GMM to do it.
And free YouTube is not going away, but it is going to be called YouTube Blue.
YouTube Blue. That is true. That is not true.
Purple?
We made that part up.
Magenta. It's overpriced. Why does it cost the same as Netflix?
Netflix. It's a tough one to remember how you say that, Netflix.
Netflix has more shows.
I saw a comment where somebody broke it down and said, Netflix has this many shows and costs $10 a month. YouTube Red has these shows, so many less shows, and it's $10 a month. Again, this is something that a lot of people seem to not understand, that you have to think about the fact that the YouTube Red service includes Google Play Music. So just apples to apples comparison, Spotify's comparable service, premium service,
costs $9.99.
$9.99 a month.
Same as YouTube Red.
Apple Music streaming service, $9.99 a month. Google Play streaming service, $9.99 a month, but it includes YouTube Red, which includes our show and ad-free YouTube and all the rest of the original programming. So on an apples-to-apples comparison, this is actually an incredible deal. We're not just saying that. Like I said, no one's telling us to say that. It's just that we're making a factual observation that this is a good deal. Now, if you already have streaming with somebody else, it may not make, you're like, well, I have to stop doing this. But the fact is, like we said, for $9.99 a month, and if you're outside of the U.S., I do think it is $12.99, $3 more, you get the album and you get the show, and you also get all our other music too that's on Google Play
as well. Right, yeah, we put it all on there. This is a money grab for you guys. You're only doing this because you want more money, and you guys don't need any more money.
Yes, this was. There's so many comments were about this, and this just strikes me as an odd argument, because have you ever thought that maybe we decided to make a show because we wanted to make a show? Like,
no, I didn't. I wanted the money.
So this idea,
I wanted to show.
This idea that we're not going to go and do anything in addition to Good Mythical Morning, and if we do, because we're hungry for money. No, we're hungry to create, and that's what we've always done. And if you've been paying attention to us and our work, and you've been watching for years, you know that this is what we have an appetite for. So when we're given the opportunity to make something on this scale, we jump at it, and that's what we did. And we feel like it is the culmination of a very long career on YouTube already, where we've been able to do a bunch of different things, but being able to bring together some of the ridiculous ideas and the music and the story and this show and our personalities and our friendship all into one product, that's what Buddy System is. So it's not a, hey, buddy, we can make some more money off of Buddy System. It's we can make something that is great for you guys to enjoy. So that just strikes me as an odd argument. It's like people are just trying to find things to come up with.
But we are going to charge for it.
Yes.
Or because it's worth paying for.
Well, and that kind of leads into the last point, which I saw people say, why don't you guys give us this for free? We've been supporting you all this time. You don't need the money. We've been supporting you all this time. Why don't you give this to us for free?
If we give this to you for free, I mean, we would have had to file for bankruptcy multiple times over.
Yeah, I
don't even know what that means.
I think, and I'm assuming that this comment is coming from some of you younger guys who
run banks,
don't have a lot of financial experience. I don't know, or maybe some of you older guys who are still living with your parents. But I mean, I'm being real about this because this comment
it perturbs us.
The nature of the conversation is so ridiculously off base when it comes to this kind of thing, because guys, we're using the money that we got from YouTube to make the show that we are then turning around and putting on YouTube Red. That's how this system works. This kind of content is incredibly. The team that worked on the show is massive. This was a film production for all intents and purposes. Now, it was much smaller budget than the films that you're probably going and enjoying at the movie theater or downloading on Amazon or Netflix. But it was a big budget for us, and it was by far the most expensive thing that we've ever worked on, and we think it shows. But the idea that we should just make that for free, which, just like Link said, honestly, that would mean that we would have to stop everything. We would close this company, we would fire everybody here, and we would go back to working in a garage. Because, and I don't mean like auto repair.
Could be.
I mean, our studio used to be in my garage. That is how that is how this would have to work. It's just called the economy, and the economy of filmmaking means that you have to spend a certain amount of money on it in order to do it. We took that money and we made a final product, and now the natural consequence of that is that if you want to see it, you have to engage with it financially by becoming a member of YouTube Red or downloading the individual episodes. I don't know any other way to state it. That's just how it works.
And I think these are just it's it being a relatively new service. I mean, for the competitors, when you talk about Amazon or Netflix or any other network at this point, it's at a certain when they were fledgling. I'm sure there was a lot of questioning of, do I want to pay for this? Do I want to? Is this a product I want to buy? But that is the decision that you have to make. It's not. I think it's complicated because there's this YouTube is a free service,
right? Because it was born out of YouTube.
So it just complicates things. But you've got to apply the right criteria to your assessment, which I think is more of the things that have original programming that are funded, high budget original programming.
And to be clear, I want to say thank you to all of you who were. Who seemed to understand where we were coming from the first time we announced this, and who are excited about this project, who are excited about Buddy System. And listen, trust me, that was a lot of you. Yeah. I would say even most of you. But like we said, especially on YouTube and in the comments, the conversation was dominated by people who had a very negative misconception. So that this is to clear that up. And listen, that doesn't mean you can't be critical of the shows. That doesn't mean you can't be critical of the platform or anything about the platform. You are welcome to be critical of our show if you don't like it. We're not saying you have to like our show. We're not saying you have to like Buddy System. You may not like it.
Right.
That's not what this is about. This is about believing something that's incorrect and then stating it loudly without listening and then getting a lot of other people to agree with you.
So I think if we were to turn our attention in closing to the majority of people watching, to Mythical Beast, you've been so supportive, and I mean, you know how much this means to us to have been able to conceptualize and write and act in and create this thing and experience and have so much fun that we feel like a type of fun that translates, not the type of fun that's insulated. Mm-hmm. What was my point?
I don't know. I was playing Minesweeper.
I think that my point is, I can't remember my point. I know. Yeah, I mean,
I'm sure
the majority of you have been supportive, and we know that you'll continue to be supportive. So we invite you to be supportive in the conversations in the comments with people who may not have watched this far into the video or have watched it at all.
Well, I'm sure
we do appreciate that type of support as well, and I just don't want it to end on a negative note that it seems like we're upset or we're bitter because we read a bunch of comments. We're trying to educate and have an honest conversation,
right?
And the majority of you are very supportive, and we are very grateful.
Because we know that there are going to, based on the previous video, like I said, a certain percentage or a certain type of person is going to have already commented their things that we probably have addressed in this video, and because we can't, we're not going to go in and answer in every individual comment.
No,
we're relying on you guys who kind of understand where we're coming from
and
to get engaged in the conversation.
And really within this first week, because I mean, ask anyone who's created something. I mean, think of anything you've created. What do you want to talk about? Do you want to talk about everything around what you've created, or do you want to talk about the thing you've made and if people thought it was funny or if people got the story? We want to engage in the comments and talk to you guys about that. We want to engage in the story, and like Rhett said, you can be critical of those things, and that would be great for us if you have any type of opinion about the work. That's what we want to, when we read the comments, that's what we want to talk about. We want to talk about what we've made and how it impacted, how it struck you or impacted you or made you mad.
That's
or happy.
ultimately a positive thing about YouTube, I will say. The conversation is so much different on YouTube. On Netflix, you can't see, there's no community. You can't comment on anything. So it would be like the creator of some show on Netflix making a video where they talked about people's issues with Netflix as a platform. That doesn't happen. They talk about their show. They just answer questions about their show and their ideas and that kind of thing. And that would be great. But it's actually ultimately a positive thing that the creators of a show on a platform can engage with the people who are users on that platform and talk about the issues that they have with the platform. And so ultimately, I think this conversation is positive, and it represents that there's a community aspect to this website that is incredibly positive. But one of the things that happens when you have unfiltered opinion is that you're going to get everyone's misconceptions at the same time. And instead of just being like, you know what, we're just going to let all this slide and just talk about our work, it isn't because we've got a chip on our shoulder. It's because we're actually invested in this working. We had so much fun doing this. We have so much fun making Go Mythical Morning. We had so much fun making Buddy System. We want to continue to do these things and even more. And you guys are the audience. And so we're going to engage with you about this. We could just say, you know what? Let's just go do something somewhere else. Maybe one day we will. But right now, this is where we're at, and you guys are the audience, and we're going to talk to you about it.
And as a small side note, our 2 cents and our request is to get the comments enabled on the underneath YouTube Red videos, or at least our series.
Yeah.
So we can have that conversation with you guys underneath the episode. I know that for YouTube Red series so far, those comments have been disabled. So we're doing our part to try to change that, to open up that line of communication. But if it's not in the comments under the episodes, it'll be in other places. So I'm sure we'll be talking about it. And thanks for hearing us out, and for seeking to understand where we're coming from, and also, like we said, to the majority of you, being so supportive and for being your mythical best.
Yes.
So enjoy Buddy System, and we'll be talking about it.
And we won't have to have this talk again.